How's it going? We are Colony House and we're back on A-Sides.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Welcome back.
Thanks for having us back.
This place a little different than the last time.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little.
It's actually the same place. I just cleaned it up.
Yeah, nice. You've done good with it.
Added some cool shit.
Yeah.
So, guys, that new single is awesome.
Thank
And it definitely, it sounds so different, but yet similar enough to your last record. Silhouettes in particular. I mean, it's just totally, it sounds like two different bands, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, I'm like slurring, it's early. Just having a stroke.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll take care of you.
You guys, there's 4 guys.
Yeah, and
someone
we're
can help
all
me. That's
actually
right.
medically trained. Yeah.
But talk to me about, the approach to go into the studio after you found success with the first record.
I think the biggest thing for us was after playing 200 plus shows on our last record when I was younger, and hearing feedback for 2 years on what people liked about hearing those songs translated live was there's naturally a energy that comes with that live show, and we weren't breaking new ground and thinking, man, it'd be awesome to capture that in the studio. But the first record, we just didn't have those shows under our belt to even know like what we were trying to capture. It was all really experimental. So with this record, we felt like, let's figure out how to bring some of that raw energy into the recording. And our way of doing that was setting up in a room much like this, all facing each other and just pressing record, and kind of the trust that goes into being in a band and being like, I trust that you're going to play your part and you have to trust that I'm going to play my part. Don't worry about that. We're going to get through this. And mistakes and all are what make it kind of this beautiful end product of the tension of like, hold on, we're almost through, we're doing great. And then, so I think that was the difference between this record and the last record. And we're really excited. We're excited about it. It's one of those where you close your eyes a little bit and you're like, it's this step. It's a big step, and you kind of sometimes make those steps, trust that the product will end up with, you'll be proud of it. Mm-hmm. So.
How long did it take you to reach that point though? Because it's got to be so much of the live performances feeding off of the crowd. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, how long did it reach you guys to actually go into the studio, into a tiny box and kind of get to as close as possible?
How long did it take?
Yeah. Like a half hour?
Yeah.
No, I feel like
30 minutes and done.
Yeah, man. Well, we made the record over like a month of recording time. We did it in two-week sections, 2 different producers on each section. And we were just in there, man. Like 12 hours a day.
Just grinding it out.
I mean, just like...
Yeah.
We did, yeah. We worked with 2 different producers, and I think one guy was a little more like into like us really going for it, that like the whole in a room going for it. And so we did pre-production for a week or so. And I think that was the time of being like, okay, can we actually do it this way? Because we did pre-pro at a different studio, then we went into a studio in Nashville called Sound Emporium, and that's where we actually did all the tracking for the actual record. And so I think that week leading up was like, can we really do this? And so there was a few days of like pondering and being like, we're going to this nice studio. Do we spend our time going for it like this, or do we do it more, individually? So, but we kind of went for it. So
yeah, whenever it's a very exposing process to like stand in a room with like your bandmates, and whenever you go listen back to what you just did, like the only thing you hear is like what you just did. Right. It's like, oh, hey, well, you messed up here, and it actually goes like this here, and that note is flat, and like all that stuff becomes like so apparent, and it just like puts you through the fire a little bit, which I feel like is part of the like I don't know, that's how I feel like I think that's what Will's talking about when he says like, can we do this? Because it was like our last record was made with a different approach than that, and so yeah, it was kind of scary at first.
Mm-hmm.
More pressure this time, or more pressure like actually the first time? I think more pressure this time, right?
I think more this time. I mean, the first record, we always talk about how the first record is just songs that we've been living with their whole lives, you know.
Yeah, we
and,
have so long to make the first one.
so the second one feels a little bit more, I don't know, a little more pressure, but I also feel really confident in the record, and I think we made something that we're all really proud of. So.
Yeah, and I think what we did, another thing that was different about this is we were pretty intentional about trying to do demos for these songs. A lot, or the first record was kind of like just going in and being like, here's an idea, okay, let's run with that. This was like getting in a studio and beforehand and just like putting up a microphone and being like getting a rough idea down. And I remember getting those ideas and playing them for, you know, our trusted people that are like, hey, we're excited about these. Are you excited about these? And pushing play and seeing their eyes light up, that always like kind of takes that pressure dial and turns it back a little bit. Like,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
there's the song alone. There's no tricks here. It's literally us, you know, going for it. The song alone has excited some people, you know, which makes you go, the only pressure is let's not mess up the song. Like, let's not crowd the song with studio tricks or whatever. Let's just let the song
make it
be the
authentic.
song, you know?
Talk to me about the record, because I know it got pushed back to January, which is probably a good thing, right? Because, I mean, you're on the road with the Mowgli's, and basically by the time the record comes out, everyone's going to know all the songs, which is great.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the tone of the record, you know, compared to last time. Like, is there like a theme with each Colony House record or no?
It seems to be
It's working itself out
happening.
like that. Yeah.
We
It seems that way.
We don't plan it. We want that. We always want there to be kind of this conceptual story. But we never go in being like, this is it, guys. When I was younger, like, we stepped back from it after it was done, and it was like, oh, this is kind of the story of growing up, you know, and in our record and the way we've grown up. This album naturally became the story of us putting out a first record, then going and leaving our home for the next 2 years, you know, and just playing shows, loving, you know, like, wow, we're doing it. We're finally like playing these shows, playing music. People are coming to see us play music. This is wild. But then the tension of, but man, we really miss home, and we miss our family and our friends back home. And something about being in that position of knowing we're really fortunate to be out here doing this. And not only are we really fortunate, we love this so much, but we really love home too. And it happens at home where we're home for a while, we're off the road, and all of us start texting like, man, I can't wait to get back out and start playing shows. And so it's the, you know, the push and the pull of that, those emotions that created this record. Even down to the sound of like, this is a raw kind of, I don't know, honest record of us talking about what, you know, the loneliness of the road. And we wanted the sound to kind of complement that in some way. So yeah, that is, believe it or not, a brief answer on the overall kind of theme of this.
I would bet it would be tough on the road. Like, my friend's a tour manager, and I could just, I hear how the life is. It's not this glamorous, you know, almost famous kind of thing. It's it's really just, it's just a grind always. How do you guys get through the loneliness? Like, what do you guys binge watch? What do you listen to? Like, I mean, you guys are brothers, so you probably drive each other crazy anyway, but you guys know each other, you know all your tics and everything. But how do you guys kind of get through it all?
I just watched Stranger
The live shows, bro. Stranger Things is amazing.
Things. I watched the whole thing on this trip that we're on right now. 3 days. That was pretty amazing.
Nailed it. Oh, I always say, like, the reason it works for us is we truly are best friends. We, even when we're home, right now Scott lives in Denver, so it makes it a little difficult to hang out when we're home. But like, we're, you know, you go out on the road, there's that weird, you're around people all the time, so it's weird to be like, I feel lonely, because you're playing for people, you're meeting people, you're with your best buds, so it's weird to feel that loneliness creep in. But there's also this camaraderie with these guys, and the support that comes from home, of being like, hey, you're supposed to be out there. We are proud of you for being out there. That kind of is is kind of the opposition to that loneliness. So I don't know. There's a million things. Van rides, as much as they're uncomfortable, I think also help with that. We know that one day, hopefully, we'll look back on those and be like, man, those were the good days where we didn't have a choice but to hang out with each other. But
they always say that you don't know when you're living in the. There's a great line from Ed Helms in The Office.
Yeah.
That I'm going to totally butcher. But he's like, I wish someone told you like when you're living in the good times or something like that.
Totally.
Totally fucked up that.
It doesn't matter.
But it's
The
something like
sentiment
that.
came through.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So just lastly, guys, so I have a 22-month-old at home.
Oh,
Nice.
Any
Awesome.
words of wisdom you can offer him for when he can do something besides try to break my computer and watch it on the internet?
Didn't we do something last time?
You
Not
signed
for
a book for my
Other-
now older son. Yeah.
What's his name? Noah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Look at you!
Oh, I nailed it.
Wow. See?
Awesome.
That's how you know
Points,
you made
scoring
an
points.
imprint.
Yeah.
It's like, I did this really shitty interview one time.
Whatever,
with this
man.
guy, and his son was Noah. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. I have a 17-month-old at home.
Wow.
Um,
So that's new, right? You didn't have...
new since then, for
Boy or
sure.
girl?
It's a boy. Noble
Awesome.
Day is his name.
Nice.
And I have no wisdom to offer. I'm just figuring it out.
Flying by the seat.
As they go.
There's nothing
But
you can...
The only wisdom I know to impart to someone who already knows this, I'm sure, but my dad did something similar to what we're doing. Was an artist, a traveling musician, and we don't resent him at all. We love what he does. He's the reason why we play music, and so I know that this can be done and my child can still love me. and I think the equation that I have figured out is that when I'm home, I've got to be home and I've got to love him when I'm there, because there's a lot of people that are home all the time but aren't there, you know. So that feels like the wisdom that my dad passed to me of being purposeful with my child.
That's
When
a
I'm
good
home,
one.
so.
So when my son watches this, he's going to be like, shit, I wish my dad was on the road.
Man,
That's right.
Dad, come on, man. No.
Well, you interview musicians, but you're not a musician. Thanks, Dad.
Oh man.
Well, guys, good luck with the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And performances were outstanding. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.